but trust in his power, yeah.
30, 20, down to 10. It don't matter. We gon' win all day. Flex up, no new flag. Flex up, may war. Don't forget, God bless me, y'all. God flex me, y'all. God trust me, y'all. Don't stress me, y'all. God bless me, y'all. God flex me, y'all. God trust me, y'all. Don't stress me, y'all.
I'm in my bag for the beginner, I give you a class. Isn't he bad? Bridget, wait till you witness a jab. Our sentence was finished fast, cause he got up in the flash. The Reaper's grip is slipping dead. I can't do nothing but last. Strong on your soul, like prolong your soul. He don't hold out your soul. He so swell, we rest on. He so cheat code. I'm way too weak for my ego, but he gon' swing low, hit a chariot and carry me home.
What's up, everybody? I'm out here on the lake right now just kind of practicing for a tournament that I got coming up in a couple weeks, but I wanted to just take a quick moment and kind of give y'all some tips and some ideas to maybe use while you're out on the water tournament fishing to keep your fish alive during the summertime. We're in August. It's actually August 31st, so right to move into September. Water temp right now is 84 degrees, so we're kind of in that tail end of summer, but water still is hot and it can still stress fish out. But the one key thing that can ruin any tournament fisherman's day is you open up the box and you've got fish belly up. So these are the things that I've done the past couple years that have helped me keep my fish alive. I pride myself on keeping my fish alive. That is one of the biggest things that I can do as a fisherman is conservation, keep my fish alive and not have to worry about killing a 3, 4, 5, 6 pounder. But this is what I do. I will not say this is a guarantee to keep fish alive, because during the summertime these fish have just came off a spawn, they're stressed out, and they're already tired and they're already weak. And so once you catch one of those fish that are tired and weak and you put it in a live well, it can still stress out. But these are things that I do to kind of help minimize the stress, and it has worked for me, like I said, for the past 2, 3, 4 years. So the first thing I do is whenever I stop and I go get my drinks first thing in the morning, go into the boat ramp, is I'll grab 2 to 3 bags of ice. 1 bag of ice is for my drinks in my cooler, and then I'll maybe throw another bag in there just to throughout the day to either add to the cooler, or I'll do but one thing I do is add 1 bag of ice, a half bag to each side of the live wells. My live wells are divided, so water does flow throughout both of them, but I'll put, so it's not one side's not cooler than the other, and it doesn't have to worry about mixing. I just put a half bag in one side, half bag in the other side, and I'll fill them up. So what I'll do, is I'll get to the ramp, put a half bag in each side of the live well. I will close my live wells off to where there's no water flowing into the boat and melting that ice and warming it up throughout the day. And then whenever I get to my first stop, I automatically fill my live wells up to where I want them to be throughout that day. And whenever they get to that point, I cut them off, and then as soon as I put a fish in there, I turn it on recirc. It doesn't matter whichever you prefer. I do auto just because the water's cooler, those fish are less stressed out. But if I notice that my fish seem to be kind of still stressing out, I may put it on manual for a little while and get the oxygen up. But I don't really have to worry about running it on manual all day. I don't ever see an issue with that. My next thing that I do is during the summertime, I do not use cold tags that go in the mouth. I feel like a lot of these cold tags, especially now that we've gone to these non-penetration cold tags, which is great. I love the fact that we're going to non-penetration. I just feel like there's a design flaw in that for summertime when oxygen levels are low, fish are stressed out, and you automatically put something in their mouth that keeps them from breathing correctly. Causes them to tilt one way to the other, causes them to exert more energy to stay straight up. So what I found and what I do is I use, this is rusted, this isn't one I use now, the ones I use now I've got in a bag, but I use alligator clips. Let's see, I'm hoping y'all can see that. Yes, it's rusted. I don't use this one, it's just one that was an old one that was in the boat. It is not my tournament one. What I do now is, a buddy of mine showed me too, whenever I told him about it, he put heat shrink tubing on the back side of these and color coordinate them. So you can either number them or you can color coordinate them and then just color coordinate your scale or however you want to do your culling. I cull by scale, so I color coordinate my scale based off of the colors. And so what I do is I don't put this on the fish's mouth. I've got a fish in the live well, and I'll show y'all what I do to keep keep these fish to where they're able to actually move. There's no restriction or anything like that. So what I do is I'll take the back fin right here, and just for me, because all it is you just need to know which number you need to cull. So I will clip on the back side of that fin, and it'll just dangle there. And that's all I do, is just have it right there. And I put that fish back in the live well, gives me a bath, and he's good to go after that. So I know what number fish that was based off my scale, based off my weight, and I can cull easier that away. My next thing I do after I do that is you want to add some kind of additive to your live wells. G-Juice is good. I've used it. What I have on hand right now is Rejuvenate. I mean, I've used Rejuvenate since college, and I've been off and on. It's just what's readily available whenever I need it. So I bought this Rejuvenate, so I'm going to use it. And what I do is I haven't added anything to this one yet. So what I do is I just take one capful, about like that, and dump it in the box. And then when I do that, I will cut my live wells on, and I'll go ahead and add another capful to the other side, and I'll let that mix up the rest of the I'll let that mix up the rest of the day. And I mean, if you have some leak out, or you see your water just doesn't seem to be as well, you can add a little bit more throughout the day, but that's just my preference. I don't try to add too much to it. I just add 2 capfuls, 1 capful to each side of the live well. That's 2 for my live wells, and that typically does me good the rest of the day. The next thing that I've done is I've just recently started doing it is when you make these runs down the lakes, and the lakes here in Alabama are populated and crowded, pleasure boaters, and so you are constantly just hitting waves, your boat's coming out of the water, and what that water does to the live well is slosh around. And so all those fish, what those fish do constantly is if you're hitting waves and that water sloshing up, they are banging up against your deck, the top of your lids and stuff like that. So what I did is, you see a lot of pros do it too. I'll go to this side and get these fishes right there. Is I just went and bought I went to this dollar store, bought some dollar pool noodles, and I cut them 9, 10, 11 inches, whatever size your live was. These are 9 inches. They may be a little small. Like I said, I just recently started doing it because I'm gonna try it out, but I feel like this right here is gonna help keep those fish from just beating themselves to death, or for me actually beating them to death whenever I'm running back to the lake, because whenever you're running back, you've got to get back as soon as possible. So I think that's about it. The biggest thing that I could tell you is make sure you don't get your water too cold initially. Whenever you go, don't overdo your additive. Try to keep from using cold tags in the summertime. I know you want to be able to cull, and that's why I say go to your any hardware store, Amazon somewhere, and find you alligator clips. If you can find stainless steel, that may work a lot better instead of them rusting. But you might want to buy you a bunch, because the ones that I have, once they get wet, they've rusted. I'm trying now is keeping them in a little storage bag and throwing some Deskin in there that'll pull the moisture off of them and keep them from rusting. But that's about it. I mean, that's about as simple as I can keep it. But you're just wanting, it's just basically you're wanting to keep the fish swimming as natural as possible, and the best thing I can do to do that is keep the water cool, comfortable, relaxed, and then also keep everything out of their mouth and not a lot of weight to those fish. Another thing, actually I did forget one thing, hold on one second. For summer and winter time, you need to always have, I got these 2 things here, but you need to always have you a fizz needle in the boat, because these fish in the summertime, they're deep for a lot of the times, and so you're catching these fish out of 30, 25, sometimes like 15 feet in those swim bladders, and as soon as you're setting the hook, you're pulling up, so those swim bladders expand, and your fish are swimming upside down in their stomach. And so what you need to do is you need to go through, and it shows you, a lot of them come, if you buy them from there, come with a little diagram right there, maybe y'all can see that, and it shows you where to penetrate. And what you do is you come in on the side of the fish, where the fin is, when he's laying flat, you go where his fin, his pectoral, I think it's not his leg. Golly, I should know this, John. So basically, I'll just say this: where his anal fin is, you want to be 7 scales back from his side fin right here. 7 scales back, right in line. Take your needle, slide it in, pick up, push down. And when you push down, then you go up under the water and you let the bubbles float out. And then just kind of let him don't hold him up under there, just like trying to let him equilibrate. Pull it out for a little bit, come back. So the one thing you don't want to do is over fizz them, because they will sink to the bottom and they will not be able to swim. You don't, just little at a time will be fine. If you're definitely something like that you're not comfortable with or haven't done a lot and just really don't feel like poking your fish, because I know some people are afraid of it, it's really not that bad. I promise you. Just kind of what I would say is, if you see one at a tournament and stuff like that, and you get somebody to show you how to fizz or something, but it's not that bad, I promise you. Just get somebody to show you, or try get you a fizz needle. You can get them at I think Tractor Supply carries needles and stuff like that, so you can get you a bag of them. You need to have 2 or 3, because sometimes they clog up with the skin and tissue, and you can't blow it out, or you can't pop it out or anything like that. Another thing that guys use are these weighted clips, alligator clips here, that clip onto the pectoral fins and keep the fish on the bottom upright to where they can balance out that away in the live well, and they're not having to struggle for oxygen. They can do that, and then when you get to the dock, you can have somebody show you. But those are some things, just extra things that you need to have whenever you're out here just fishing tournaments in the summertime and you're planning on fishing deep. If you're fishing shallow, a lot of times you don't have any issues, but if you are fishing deep, these are some of the tools that you need to have. But if you like that, man, leave a comment, leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm just trying to put out different kind of content other than just fish catching and stuff like that, because I know I get a lot of questions and a lot of people ask me certain things that aren't pertaining to how are you catching fish. It's how do you keep fish alive, and that's one of the things I've been wanting to do for a while, and I just finally was able to go on the water and have an opportunity. But I hope y'all enjoyed that. Again, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see y'all next time. Thanks.
God bless me, y'all. God bless me, y'all.